What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsuppinthesky.com. Check out the website. Always good stuff in the forums. And then click that subscribe button if you like the videos. And then hit the bell. I remember to say that. Like everybody says that. Like everybody on their videos are like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe. I've always forgotten to say that. But even strong, we've got like 20 something thousand subscribers. You guys all rock. You guys stuck with me through videos that I haven't been putting much up, haven't been posting much, but I went and did a video when I was excited when I first saw the Chinese landed on the moon. So, I wanted to do a video and say, hey, look, I'm excited about this. And I got called out by a lot of my, subscribers. But they're like, because I know Chris from Mars Anomalies, one of my good friends. Him and I go way back. He started his channel after him and I put up. He sent me a picture. Him and I go way back. He started his channel, I think, with some help. Basically, we're like, dude, start your own channel. You got to do it. And I trust his information. Joe White had done a video on it. And when it comes to the anomalies, everybody sees what they see. Like, I see what I see, you see what you see. But when I went to go take a look back at this because I watched their videos. Like, okay, maybe there's something going on here. But what I found to me was way more interesting than if there's anomalies on the surface, because what I found was, first off, the Planetary Society, what I'm looking at, all three of these images right here were created on, not, these three were created at the same time. All right, and I'm going to go into photo forensics, and we're going to look at the ELA, the air level analysis, but we're really going to look at the metadata, however you say it, behind. However you say it. I'm an IT guy. I'm going to try and make this as un-IT as possible, but there's dates, times, things like that, there's a lot of it in there. But first I want to, because the Planetary Society, they've kind of, like I said, they've always been the people who kind of shore up NASA things when there's something weird, or they're always first to come out and, they do a lot of good work over there. There's a lot of great blogs, but there's a couple of us in the background like, okay, yeah, they've shored that up. But this was kind of, I saw this right away. It's like, why does the moon's far side look red in the new images? And when I put that one out earlier, I started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, why is it that color? Now, this guy here goes through it here, and he basically changes the histogram. Here's the histogram right here. Here's the one that they sent out. Now, he says that the reds are up high, so he balanced it out. And then he talked about the moon, and this is orange stuff that basically this right here is a color calibration target. And then down here he complains a little bit that they didn't have one on it, because however, I'll go up here, and it's a pity that the Chinese Space Agency did not add color calibration strips to the ramps of the lander. I learned how to say that last time. This time I'm not even going to try. And in the foreground of the pictures above, the British Beagle lander, you can tell how he spells color, that he's most likely from UK or over there. But it talks about the calibration targets, just like the NASA puts them on everything. They're on the rovers. They basically have the colors, so we can match our colors up to it. Now, he gives them a pass here. However, the measurements show very little color variation on the moon, and astronauts who have been there will tell you the moon is essentially a drab gray, except for that picture up here from this is Apollo like 16, when they saw this orange actual soil and took a picture of it. And here was that whole dress thing that went on. What color was the dress? You guys probably remember that. All right, there's so much goes on the internet now, and you probably might not even remember that, but it was a big thing a couple years ago. But anyway, he says, when the Chinese astronauts walk on the moon, probably sometime in the 2020s, they will most likely experience the same thing, which is, a drab, gray type soil. So that made me go back and think, all right, so let me go check out the photo forensics. Let me do photo forensics on this and look at the air level analysis, because a lot of times you can see things like this. Look, this was pasted in. See how it's got the real dark air level analysis on a picture. If you hit the tutorials, it'll take you up here, and you can do a lot on here. I'm gonna leave these links on here, and these pictures, like I said, I think I've done this video a couple times, but sometimes it gets so technical. I'm like, all right, no one's gonna care about this. Or here, I'm getting it directly from the website from the Chinese government. So you can see that I'm upload a URL. So you're going to get the metadata. And each time, all right, so all three of these pictures, 1, 2, 3. Let's get into it here. When you save a file, whether it be a Word document, whether it be a HTML file, a picture, especially pictures have a lot of information, especially if they have this EXIF. And if Photoshop was involved, it can save a whole lot of information, like creation times, when it was saved, things that you did, things you pasted and copied in, how many original documents started it. So what we know about this first document and all three, okay, all three of these documents were created with the same ancestors right there, okay? This is going to be the same on each one. So whoever did this at the Chinese Space Agency, we wait to see all these, they had whatever they were doing, whether they were pasting in the pictures from the rover, and you guys can read between the lines when I show you this, all of the ancestor documents were the same, okay? That's a little odd. But what really gets odd, okay, so this is the first one. It was open. Okay, we're going to get a little bit into it. It was opened, and this is why, one reason why I didn't want to argue with anybody over the resolution on it. It's 1024 by 1024, and the how they actually saved it at is almost the JPEG quality. It says 99% here, but it's not, because you can tell by the metadata it was saved at 60% with the save as tool, basically. Where is that at? See, that shows it on here somewhere. So it's not saved in the greatest quality as it is, and we can show you that on the other ones. But the interesting stuff. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so the dates and the time. This was created. The date created this. You're going to find this on all three. Was on January 3rd, 2019, 12:12 plus 8. That's basically that's the time plus the central mean time. So there was 22 minutes from the time this was saved and when it was opened. So for 22 minutes, somebody could have worked on this file. It was created with these two documents. So it says history of the action. This is what's great about the Adobe Photoshop. It was saved or edited, manipulated, whatever you want to call it, with Adobe Photoshop CS5 for Windows, and it gives you the history of when it was done and the timing of when it was done, and also what had happened to it, the actions of it. So this was from the XMP data that they left all this in here. So now let's go to the second one. Now the ELA alone is straight. See how everything should look kind of the same color. Like if you really want to do something neat, if you think one of those a lot of people use this for documents, to find if a document's been edited, or if your favorite superstar, has been photoshopped, or anything. Nowadays, people Photoshop so much stuff on things, but you think that they wouldn't put the metadata out, or whatever. All right, so here we go. Now this one, the same create date. All right, same exact time. 0103 2019 1212. All right, now this one was finally saved at 2326. So what's that about? If you save that from the other one, well, technically it could have been about 3 to 5, 3 days. See, it's 3 to 18 hours worth of work, I guess, depending, because 22, 23, that's about 10 hours that it could have been worked on. Now, so check this out. All right, this is what I love about this type of data. When you find it, it's like, what is going on? All right, these histories. This is every time it was saved. Now, if I'm going to create, let's just think of if you're not a graphic artist, I'm sure all the buddies who do this stuff, they open up Photoshop. Say I'm going to work on a picture for work, okay, and I need to put a logo in it, do some things. I'll save it throughout the time, just so I don't miss or mess up what was back. If I work for an hour on something, just like a Word document, I'm going to save it. So if I'm working on a picture for an hour, I'm going to save it. So this was created, saved, converted, derived, Save, 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 converted, derived, and then saved finally again. All with the same Adobe Photoshop, okay? And the history here, we've got time. So there's, as the first one, each one of these will match with the commas. So you can go through this and look at it, later and see what exactly all is going on here. But basically the last time being converted, derived, and saved. Let's go back 3 here. The final save time, which it says up at the top as well. And all those things happen. So 35, 36. So it was converted. A minute later it was saved or derived and saved. So basically, and then that's how it is. That's how it looks. All right. So this is the beginning of the file, just like the say history when it was created. And then starting at 2040. So this is actually we're going to narrow it down. This was open to 2040 really because this is so really 3 hours of work could have been done to this one because the first it was the first actual derivative of this when it was saved that for second time was 20. Okay, so it was at 2040 military time. So this original file was saved. So it was created then as just like the other one. Then it was saved at this time. So that gives us a window from 20 to 2336 of time that it could have been edited. So from there, all right, it was converted, means something else could have been brought into it. And it was saved, let's see, we'll keep going forward, 2040, 2044, 4 minutes later, it was saved. And you see how they'll do, you'll notice this because I save things 3 or 4 different places too. So a lot of these saves are probably like to their hard drive, to a network drive, something along those lines at the China Space Agency. So 2044 and then 101, all right, so 103 or 103, 103. So they save this thing to a bunch of different files, 103. And then it'll jump off some more. So we've got, no, what am I thinking here? 103, sorry guys. Duh. This is what gets me, I've got this whole thing mapped out over here. Basically, 3 hours of work could have been done to this thing. You can see it yourself. And then I want you to see this is a logo that they pasted into this. Notice how a lot of this stuff is just normal. I want you to go upload a photo of your own in here and see how it looks. So I'm not going to say that this was put together or whatnot, but I'm just saying they had some time to work on it and save it if that's truth. All right, so the next one. All right, same exact document ancestors, same time that it was created. This one was saved a lot. This was saved on the 4th. This was saved the whole day and a half later. Let's see what they got here. So history. This is the time it was opened. And then let's see. This was the second time. See now. See how it's at 2040 again there. That was when the last one was saved for the first time. So this first couple here to here is the history of the old file. So they still got the history of the old file in there as they're creating. So let's just say I was to take this picture, add this. Let's say I wanted to add that, add a logo and stuff, okay? That took me, what, 4 or 5 minutes? Could 22 minutes? Could do that easily. Second one, they take that out. This has been moved. That's down. There's a little bit of work needs to be done to that. That's 3 hours worth of work could have been done there. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that these are fake images or nothing. This is up to you. And this is up for you to decide. I'm going to leave this stuff up, and what I'll probably do is copy all this stuff into a big file and put it on the website for you guys to download and then link it. But okay, so let's go back to the last save here. That was at, all right, so on the 4th at 1810. So let's go back a little bit. 1810, 1810, 1810. All right, so this is 2335. So, do the same thing, 2335, and then match with save. So 2335, 2320, 2335. So there was a save in between 2320 and 2335. So what's that, 15 seconds there? So basically, I think what they're doing, they're hitting different drives as they do it. So they can pull it back up. So but they're saving it from the same file. So see, it's why it's been saved with Adobe Windows C5. So let's get to here, 2335. Yeah, 2335. So it's been in between 2335 on the 3rd and 1810, which is like almost 18 hours of work. Almost possibly 18 hours of work could have been done to this image. That's how much it was saved. This is what comes out of that one. I'm not saying some. Maybe they let me hit the ELA on it. Maybe that's once again the error. See, so they added this to it, the image, which was the original image here. Yeah, there's nothing down there right there, but it's down there, and it's down here. But if you hopefully you get what I'm saying here. Basically, there was ample opportunity to create these images, which would bring into the authenticity of all those. Now, you have other images too. They could have just changed it to be red, added that logo, and the guy works a little slow. Or this basically was sitting idle, this computer, for especially this third one, was sitting idle for 18 minutes. That's very well could be. And I don't want to linger on about it, but let's look at a couple of the other ones and see how they were done. This was one of the more images that came out. You can see the things that were added here. Very interesting that these some of this stuff is. Now let's hit the data here. This was done with a different. This was actually done with the Adobe again. Well, actually, yeah, this was the CS5 for the Windows, same as the last one, saved as a JPEG. Now this one, which is where somebody put these together, this is where you would expect to see a whole bunch of saves and stuff like that. Well, you don't. Somebody made a JPEG out of it, but it was also done with a different version and then saved with the 60% quality. This was done with Adobe Photoshop CC 2019. So on Windows, I've got the latest version. When you ever see me working in it, I'm working with the latest version because I pay for the Adobe Creator tools. But it's funny that they were showing it like that. Like I said, it just crossed my mind. I said, I want you guys to think about that. So why would they, say I had this file, this right here, all loaded up, ready to go. I don't know. It's a mystery. But just because of this, I'm not gonna see. I'm not gonna look into out here because I know that So I don't think they're not. This doesn't show, editing in here. This looks like normal ELA stuff. This does not. See where they put these in? This does not. Now, see, your edges are usually pretty strong. Down here they're not. Up here they are. So they could be cutting something out. Who knows what's going on. With just to the fact that they were saved in Adobe Photoshop, have the same create date on all three, they just call them all into question. And I mean, in the ELA, the air level analysis looks like this. All right, guys. Hopefully that was something I got. And this right here, a lot of people. This is definitely like a sun thing reflecting off of the rover's thing. Because it's a lot of people noticed that too on some of it follows it around. Like I said, they could have just been changing the color. Why would they be changing the color? I don't know why they're changing anything. So I don't want to argue or talk about anything that could have been done out in here or over here because, or maybe right here, maybe it was edited right there a little bit. Let's see over here, a little right there, not as much, but right there a little bit. Who knows? Say, but when you've got the same file and you put it out like that, and you leave the data in there, and it's got this kind of stuff, makes me call into the whole question of what the whole mission's about. But all right, guys, hopefully this didn't confuse the heck out of you. I'll have some good stuff out soon, I promise. Much love to you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. What do you guys think about this? I want to hear what you guys think. Hopefully I actually put this into a a working. I've got the file. I'm gonna upload this here to the website, so you can go look at all these data times and things, and you don't have to go mess around with the up here. But always Planetary Society always is sending. The first person always jumped to the help of somebody's, but no reason why they should have kept it red like that, especially when the rest of them came out that color. So maybe they're changing the color. I don't know. Much love. Peace.